cease that conversation while the camera's around.
Yeah, hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. B8. So, we're going to go into the second one. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome to the Pavilion Theatre this evening. We're delighted to welcome you. We are also, of course, very delighted to welcome our guest of honour, Marian Keyes.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Hello. Amigos, thank you for coming. This is so fantastic. I'm just overwhelmed and so happy. I can't thank you enough. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I'll hand you back to Maria. Thank you.
So we have, of course, in our presence today a woman who has written 13 books that have been translated into 36 languages and sold 33 million copies worldwide.
Thanks.
And still, with all of that, she still manages to be so down to earth and so warm and so friendly that she feels, certainly to me, and I'm sure to everybody sitting in the room, like she's our secret famous best friend.
I am your best friend.
And sure, what do our best friends do but fill us full of chocolate and goodies? So thank you, Marian, for that fantastic introduction to the day with the Percy Pigs. And
A pleasure.
Very
Thanks.
good. So Marian, I think if you're a footballer, you always want to play in the New Camp Stadium. If you're a rock star, you want to play in Madison Square Gardens. For you, this is the big one, isn't it?
It is.
The Pavilion Theatre
It is. No, it's
has
really,
always been the dream.
It really, really, really has, because it's my local theatre, and I've come and I've seen lots of other authors here, like fabulous people like Kate Atkinson and Kate Mossy and Armistead Maupin, and I used to sit here in the audience, and Ruby Wax when Tom was interviewing her, and I sat in the audience and I used to think, will I ever be kind of well in the head enough again to be able to do that? And I can't tell you what tonight means to me. You know, of anywhere in the whole world to be, meeting readers and to be able to do a little bit of reading from the book and to answer your questions and to meet you. There is nowhere else I would rather be. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, and thank you for having me.
We're so happy to have you here, Marian. And obviously, I know you want to welcome everyone in the audience, but is there anyone in particular that you'd like to welcome this evening who might be here?
Well, would Paul Dunphy be on the premises?
Oh,
there you are, the front light. See, I can't see because the lights are in my eyes. Good. Now, I do have a mother, but she asked that no attention be brought to her. But I need to know that she is actually on the premises. Would she make herself known to me? Did she find her tickets? No, she's not here.
She's being very shy.
Very shy. You are there. Okay, good woman. Good. Hooray!
I know Marian promised she wouldn't make a show of you, but there we go.
Yes, I won't make a show of you anymore after this, ma'am. And I know we are all very, very special guests here tonight, but we do have one extra special guest who is going to be joining our Twittery pal, Paul, in doing the glitterin raffle. And that person is the very delicious and lovely Tom Dunn. Would Tom Dunn make himself known to us, please? There he is! Tom! So Tom will be pulling the tickets from the salad spinner of happiness to give away these fabulous prizes later. But first, you have to listen to me first. That's in a while.
So we're here, of course, to celebrate the publication of the very marvellous woman who stole my life. So congratulations on that, Marian. At Dubray Books, we're a very enthusiastic bunch, and we love our books, as you might expect. And we're absolutely blessed that we get a lot of early reading copies from publishers to try and build a buzz about a book and so on. And, we read our books and we email each other and we all get very excited. But when the early reading copies came in of this book, I have to say, it was an absolute showstopper. The phones were just absolutely hopping. So much so that we had to put together this little poster, which took in Anne-Marie from our Grafton Street store, who... Anne-Marie, are you out there somewhere? There she is. They're all skulking up the back. such was Anne-Marie's enthusiasm about the book that she really just couldn't wait to get out there and sell it. And I think, I'm sure a lot of you have read it and just had the massive amount of enjoyment from it that we all have. So first and foremost, wanted to say congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I mean, to me, it was really a very warm and a very positive read, I felt. How did you feel when you were writing it? What sort of experience was it to put this book together?
Very much that. Before I think with all my books I try to have a happy time, and it doesn't always go that way. But with Stella being the woman she is, she's just so uncomplicated, and she's just completely devoid of self-pity, and things happen to her, but she just gets on with stuff. So it was very nice to be in her head every day. And she's married to this gom, who, the funny thing is, he designs bathrooms for a living. And at the time we were having our bathroom done. And this man would come in, and he had a kind of a goatee, and he was a bit hipstery and everything. And I was thinking, God love him. It sort of dawned on me. He did 4 years above in Dunleary, and now he's designing bathrooms, and kind of how much that must have upset him, So he was kind of the inspiration for Ryan, the EGT husband, The bathroom is lovely, by the way, He did a lovely job, and he's obviously very good at it. But, that she's kind of the second in command. She's the hand holder. She's the one who bolsters everybody else's kind of insecure sense of self. And, so it was lovely to be in her head. And I also decided, you see, I write love stories, but I'm always very apologetic about them, because I'm afraid people will start pelting me with candy floss, or, candy floss, go, pink, you girl, and I would always say, okay, I mean, there are romances, but they're about really depressed people, and they're really, And I thought this one, feck it, it's a romance. Deal with it.
What a shame. So tell us a bit about Mannix. So dreamy, Mannix.
Right, well, the thing is, the woman in the book, Stella, gets this very rare disease, which is actually real, and I know about it because it happened to 2 people in different continents that I knew about 14 years ago. And it's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And it's a horrible thing, but it's not fatal. But basically it shuts down your entire central nervous system for a while. And you end up kind of paralysed. And so I decided I'd research it. And so there are a couple of kind of self-published autobiographies about it, and in one of them the woman, and she was this kind of Texan matron, and she wrote about kind of the experience of being in a hospital bed and you're completely invisible, but there was one man who was kind of a physiotherapist, and he treated her like a human being. Now there was in this the one I was reading, there was no hint of a romance at all. It wasn't that she was a God-fearing, church-going type, But it suddenly dawned on me, when you're that vulnerable and, somebody sees you. So that was kind of the spark for the kind of extreme sexual attraction between the 2 of them, even though they're both married to other people and everything. So I had a great time, I just had a great time writing it. And it is mortifying writing sex scenes. I mean, it's horrific, mostly. But this time it wasn't. This time it was fabulous. And there was a time, I don't know, must have been the summer before last, and I just couldn't stop writing the sex scenes. And and eventually dawned on me, this is actually getting me nowhere. I'm kind of stuck at kind of the first third of the book, and I'm never going to get past it if I don't stop. And then I thought,
50 Shades Marian.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to kind of, right, that's enough of that now for a while. Now we'll come back to that.
Down with that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. So it was, it was a lovely book to write for lots of reasons, and because just I took that thing of it's a love story, and I'm not going to pretend it's anything else.
And was Mannix based on anyone in particular, or is he just composite of?
Well, I did have a picture in my head, kind of because it helps, and kind of, he was, Jose, Yeah. Jose in his overcoat, being cranky, you know, the big, cranky, sexy head on him, you know. That was kind of how I visualised him, you know. So it was kind of easy, you know, to be writing. But anyway, but that was all just, you know, it was an artistic endeavour. And of course, you know, that's all finished now. And Jose has nothing to me. And I'm happily married. And yeah.
Writing about the locked-in syndrome, because I thought that writing was really incredible and so imaginative, the way you kind of envisioned not just the kind of the stress of the illness, but also, you know, how people might treat you, and even how her own family, even though they care very much, but they don't quite know how to handle her, and they respond in different ways. The process of writing about that, tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, I have to give credit to the books that I did read. I mean, because they were so revealing. I mean, I think whenever the minute a person is in a hospital bed, they're instantly dehumanised. I don't know what happens, but I think we're all so frightened of illness and death that we're already kind of keeping our distance, you know, so like her children don't want to get too close to her. And, I mean, yeah, it was kind of the loneliness of, you know, when people leave, you know, you have your 15 minutes of visiting time or an hour or whatever, and then you're just on your own again. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm quite open about the fact that, you know, in recent years I was hospitalised twice, and, you know, I had 1 hour's visiting time a day when Tony used to come in, and then I had 23 hours on my own, and that's really kind of horrible, you know. So even though I was able to move around and everything, you know, and I could speak, I suppose maybe I was drawn on that sense of kind of, I don't know, almost incarceration, or, you know, it's really horrible being sick when other people are healthy. I think maybe that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, you just capture it so well, and I think as well you see Stella's spirit in it, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I think when I first read it, I said to you, you know, I wish Stella was real, so she could be my best friend. You know, she's such a warm, engaging character, and all her little, you know, the thoughts that are put together in the book are so warm and so wonderful. It's got such spirit to it. There, it really is absolutely lovely. I know you want to read a little bit.
Yes, if that's okay.
Yes. And then if you could all have your thinking caps on, because in a few minutes we're going to have some questions from the audience.
Thank you. Now hold on a second. I need to put on me. I'm that age. I need my glasses. Okay, most of you have read the book, I know, but this isn't sort of really giving anything away. This is the day of Ryan's Project Karma, when he's given away everything he owns. Monday, 9th of June, 7:38. I wake up and I can hear the telly on in the sitting room. Jeffrey must be up. Assailed with dread, I go downstairs and sit beside him on the couch. It started already, he says, tonelessly. Ireland AM is on, and Alan Hughes is reporting from Ryan Street. I'm live from Ryan Sweeney's Day Zero. Alan Hughes is almost shouting with excitement. Day Zero actually started last night. A few early birds came in vans and slept overnight outside Ryan's house. It's like the first day of the sales. Alan is interviewing some of the hopefuls and asking what they have their eye on. His kitchen table, one woman says. Another says, his clothes. He's the same size as my boyfriend. He's up in court a lot for petty crime, so he could do with some nice suits. In the background is a cordon of police in high-vis jackets. After Ryan's dazzling appearance on Saturday Night In, the authorities realised that this thing had the potential to turn into a stampede, so ground rules had been laid down. People will be admitted in batches of 10. They will be permitted to stay in the house for a mere 15 minutes and allowed to take only what they can physically carry. The atmosphere here is very festive. Behind Alan Hughes's head, 3 men are passing, a king-size mattress hoisted onto their shoulders. Hello there, gentlemen. I see you got yourselves a bed. We did. The men lean in to talk into Alan's microphone, but the mattress is heavy and wobbly, and because the men have ceased their steady forward propulsion, it starts flipping and flopping and then topples to one side, knocking Alan Hughes over and pinning him to the ground. That bit is funny. 7:45. I'm Alan Hughes, reporting live from under Ryan Sweeney's mattress. We can hear him, but we can't see him. This is horrific. Jeffrey makes a low moaning noise. 1, 2, 3, heave! Several men work together to lift the mattress up onto its side and to free Alan Hughes and his microphone. Alan Hughes gets to his feet, looking tousled-haired, but in good form. That was gas, he says. Has anyone a comb? Geoffrey, I say, I had a very difficult labour with you. Geoffrey is silent, but his mouth goes tight. It was agony, so it was. What do you want? It was long. It was 29 hours. And they wouldn't give you an epidural, he says. I know. What do you want? Go to the Spar and buy me some Jaffa cakes. I will start my protein thing again tomorrow. But today is impossible. 8:03 to 17:01. Geoffrey and I keep vigil as, all day long, various radio and TV stations cross live to Project Karma. Now and again, Ryan himself appears, full of smiles, and saying how delighted he is with how it's all going. Sometimes the interviewers praise him. Sometimes they can barely hide how insane they think he is. It is mortifying, depressing, and actually very boring, and gets more boring as the day goes on, and people emerge with smaller and crappier things. Tarnished spoons, decommissioned mobile phones, keys to garden sheds that no longer exist. A sense is building that the end is in sight. At about 5 in the evening, a young woman comes out of the house and holds up a jar of olives to the camera. This is the very last thing. The eat-by date is 2 years ago. Hold on, Geoffrey says. Dad's coming out. And sure enough, here's Ryan. He stands in the street outside the house that is no longer his. Look at him, Geoffrey says. The prick. I bet he's going to do a speech or something. Ryan savours his moment. He spreads his arms wide and announces to the media of the world, I stand here before you with nothing. People applaud, and Ryan does an aw-shucks smile and gives a humble little namaste bow, and I am filled with enormous smacky rage for him. Then someone calls out, You're still wearing your shoes. Ryan looks slightly disconcerted. That's right. Another voice comes from the audience. You're still wearing your shoes. Okay, Ryan says expansively. Fair point. He takes off his shoes and they promptly disappear into the crowd. And his clothes, someone else says. And your clothes, a louder voice calls. You can't say you have nothing while you're still wearing clothes. Ryan hesitates. Clearly he hadn't expected this. Go on, someone shouts. The clothes. Ryan is starting to look a little rabbits in the headlights, but he's come this far. He has no choice but to go to the very end. He unbuttons his shirt and flings it towards his audience with a certain amount of pizzazz. Keep going. Ryan's hands go to his waistband. God, no, I whisper. Ryan unzips his jeans and shimmies out of them, then whips his socks off and casts them towards the mob. All that remains are his black underpants. Ryan pauses. The people are holding their collective breath. Surely he won't. He won't, Geoffrey pleads. I stuff another Jaffa cake into my mouth. He won't. I swallow down the Jaffa cake and shove in another. My fear is extreme. He won't. He will! In a teasing fashion, Ryan begins to unroll his underpants down, revealing his pubic hair. A good half of his penis has appeared before an onlooker cries, breach of the peace! To be accurate, it's public indecency, and the coppers are on top of Ryan before his testicles appear. Geoffrey is howling in distress, and Ryan is being led away covered in a police blanket. Immediately, pixelated images of his penis are zipping around the world. People in Cairo and Buenos Aires and Shanghai and Ulaanbaatar, you name it, they're all getting a look at my ex-husband's penis. But not in Turkmenistan, the voiceover tells us. Apparently they're not allowed to look at penises on the telly there. 17:45. Ryan spends the night in a police cell and is let off with a warning. A thoughtful member of the public delivers his shoes and clothes to the station. Tuesday, the 10th of June, 7:07 a.m. In the bright, early morning air, Ryan stands in the street outside the police station and waits for the universe to provide. But it doesn't. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks. Thank you.
Oh, that's brilliant, Marian.
Thank you.
It's a very hard act to follow.
Oh, God,
I have
stop.
a few more questions for you, and then,
Go
as I
for
said,
it.
we're going to throw it open to the floor. Now, I presume a huge number of you follow Marian on Twitter, yeah? Yes, thought so.
Thanks.
Obviously, Twitter's been a massive change in the way that you communicate with your
Yes.
fans. What does it mean to you? Tell us about that.
Oh my God, I mean, so much. The friendship, like the connection, you know, the sense of community, like I have to thank Tom. Tom was my very first follower. And I mean, God, what a way to
It's an honour.
start, you know. And it's just, we might not all like exactly the same thing, but we like enough of the same things to feel like I can't, you don't even have to leave your house to have lots of fun. It's been huge for me. It's been and also, I suppose, not just kind of what it's meant on a personal level, but like, for like a long while I couldn't write. And then when I discovered that if I assembled 140 characters in a certain way, I could make people laugh. Mm-hmm. That was actually a huge kind of part of giving me back my confidence as a writer. When suddenly I could kind of do a sentence and realise that people enjoyed it, it made me kind of think, oh, Jesus, if I kept doing enough of these, I could do a book. So it's been so lovely in so many ways. And like, it's funny, I met Jojo Moyes, who lots of you probably follow as well, and she said exactly the same thing. She said maybe 1% of the people that kind of communicate with her on Twitter are meanies, and the rest are our friends, and you're never alone, like, and it's actually, I have trouble sleeping, and even in the middle of the night, like, there's always somebody there. Yeah, or like, yeah, exactly. It's so comforting, to kind of say, is anyone awake? Like, and it's 4 a.m. and there's fucking loads of us, It's like, it's such a lovely feeling. It's like, it's not just me. I'm not like uniquely flawed, Yeah, I love it.
So we'll all be on at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
this morning waiting for...
I'll be there.
One of the things I love, I have to say, about following you on Twitter is you really get a sense of your passions in life, the things that you enjoy, that you get a kick out of, that you and here we have a little This Is Your Life of Marian's favourite stuff.
God, that's really good. It's very representative. That's the table I stole off my mammy. And sorry, ma'am. But now Oscar has it. Reds are number 2. That's his desk table now.
It's lovely. And you see Marian has the blue nails.
Yes, can you see?
As well.
Yes,
so
glittery
matches
nails.
Beautifully. And the shoes. Can we just take a little moment to admire
Thank
the
you.
shoes?
Very proud of my shoes.
And you see on the bottom right here, we have the collection of knobs.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Marian has a special treat for you all this evening.
I brought my prize knobs. Oh, yes. And now, I'm going to pass them among you.
No stealing them now.
No stealing them, but feel free to touch them and to run them through your fingers, run your hands over them and all. But I have them counted. So, Paul, I'll start with you, and if you would pass them amongst people and, just savour the experience.
So, as I said, we're going to throw questions open to the floor in a few minutes, but we ran, you might have seen, a little Twitter competition over the last couple of weeks to get a few questions to pose to Marian tonight. And we announced the 3 winners today. So 2 of them aren't here, so I'm going to ask questions on their behalf, and then one of the winners is here, so she'll be asking her question herself. Funnily enough, one of the questions is knob-related, so we may as well go straight into that one.
Let's kick off with the knob.
And that's from Mary Kay. It's a tricky question, so give it some thought. If the new book was a knob, what would it look like?
Oh my God, right. Well, it would be a big knob. A nice, big, hefty knob with a bit of heft to it. Dark coloured, purplish, round, attractive, beautiful, entertaining. A knob that would give lots of pleasure.
This is...
Yeah. I would hope. Yeah. God. I'm 51. I mean, am I ever going to grow out of this?
Oh, dear. The next question was from Christine Carr, and her question was, if you could steal another woman's life, whose life would you choose?
Ooh, that's a tricky
one.
I don't know. Because, like you see all these Beyoncés and all, and you think, Christ alive, it must be such hard work. Like having to do all them exercises, them squats for her thighs, and then worrying if your man Jay-Z was off riding Rihanna and all. Like, you might get loads of free handbags out of it, but like, is it worth it? like, I wouldn't be any of them types, really, If I could steal it. Well, the thing is, my life is really nice. Like my head can be banjoed a lot of the time, but my actual life, I'm blessed. Like I have a lovely family, a lovely husband, I have a lovely job, I have all of you, I have prize knobs that are currently circulating. I have lovely things and lovely people, I have lovely friends. There is one woman who isn't in the public eye, but I suppose she's sort of my idol. And I think she might be here tonight, but I'm not going to mortify her. And she's sort of the person I want to be when I grow up, because she has such a beautiful attitude to everything. Like, she finds joy in everything, and she just lives life in a really open and loving way. And, bad stuff happens to her the way it happens to everybody, but she kind of absorbs it, and she's just really kind and at peace, I suppose. I suppose I'd like that more than Beyonce's thighs. So yeah, just but I'm really, really grateful for the life that I have. So if that doesn't sound awfully
no, that's
smug,
a lovely answer.
I'm so lucky, and thank you.
I should add, just before we send the mics out to the floor, that Paul Dunphy also had a very, very good question.
Oh, go on.
But I didn't think it was entirely appropriate with Mammy Keys here. So.
Not sure Mammy Keys doesn't mind. Mammy Keys is well
Paul,
used
do you remember what it was?
Remind me.
Paul was asking about was it practicing or preparing for writing the riding scenes? And did you get distracted by the 46A while you were writing them?
The 46A can be a distraction, yeah, because the top deck can see into our bedroom at the front of the house, yeah. So we usually do it down the back. If that answers your question. The front of the house is a no-go area, really, for anything, especially when we had the bad snows. Do you remember the great snows of 2010? Wasn't it fantastic? Well, it was fantastic for the first hour and a half. And then, because we live on a slope, you see, and so, like, the 46A, you'd see it going up the hill, and then you'd see it's coming back down the hill again. And then they'd come and they'd ring on our bell, and we'd have to go out and help push the feckin' thing. And for the first few goes, it was like, Jesus, it's great, look us all together, sense of community, shoving the 46A back up the icy hill. Listen, it's fantastic, And then we got really, really fed up. And then we decided we'd hide behind the couch. And we were actually behind the couch, but the top deck could see. So the 46A is a wonderful thing in many ways, but can kind of catch you on the hop times.
Okay. Now, my lovely assistant Susan has the microphones, and Cleona has the other. So, is Mary Anderson in the audience? She was the other one of our Twitter winners. Hey, Mary, how are you? You pass the microphone down there. Now, this might be a question you've partially answered, but there is a different slant to it.
Okay.
So, you ready, Mary?
Yeah. Sure. I was just wondering...
Hi, Mary.
Hiya.
It's funny to see you in real life.
I know. If and when the book is made into a movie and Tony refuses to take the lead role, who would you pick, Pasha or Jose?
The thing about Pasha is, this might shock you, I don't actually fancy Pasha. Pasha is beautiful. He's a beautiful person. He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful soul and everything. It would have to be Jose. I'm sorry, but there's so much about Pasha that I really admire and really respect. I really think he's a really special person. He's so kind and good, and he's done so much with his life, and he came from such hardship and all, and he's nothing but positive. But and he's really good looking and everything, but I feel quite maternal about him. So no, it definitely couldn't be him. It would have to be Jose. But Jose, Jesus, Jose wouldn't do it. Sure, he'd storm off the first half hour, you know, and he'd be off giving out about me to someone. No, not him either. No, we'll have to find somebody else. Thank you, though. It's a lovely question. It's nice to talk about Pasha.
Okay, so it's over to your part of the evening. So
and please don't hesitate. Don't be afraid.
Some fella at the front wants to ask a question. Don't know who he is.
Hello, Mar.
Hiya, Paul. Hello, Squire.
That's me, thank you. Mar, I loved the Strictly Gogglebox It's Take Two last
thanks.
night. I just loved
thank
it.
You.
It was just, I love Gogglebox, I love you, I love Strictly, and it was all in one go. It was just, I nearly busted. It was so fantastic. But will there be any more? Please say yes.
I don't think so, because, well, I mean, it was a lovely idea and concept, but like they filmed us for hours and hours and hours. No, mostly no. We said a lot of them made us say Pasha, oi, lots of times, and that was nice. But I will be on the final It Takes Two on the 19th, so it's an honour to be asked back for the last one of the series, and but yeah, it was a nice idea, but it was sort of a bit mortifying at the same time. You couldn't really, you know, relax with a man filming you and saying, "Can you say that again?" You know, and that, you know.
It looked as if you did it, you know, in half an hour, but yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, he was there for about a week.
Oh, okay, thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Another question.
And don't be shy, please.
there's
I'm
one
your
just here.
amigo. You can ask whatever you like.
And do say your name when you're starting, so
hi.
Marian.
No, darling.
Your hair is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's like cement, but
It's really lovely.
It stayed in
Thank
from
you
yesterday.
for coming.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you. It's lovely. I'm forever been told by friends that I should have a Kindle, that I should have a device on which to read books, and I haven't succumbed because I just love. I think there's nothing finer than to turn the pages of a book, and I love the new book smell. I just wondered, do you have a Kindle, or do you still like?
I do have a Kindle, yeah, and I love it because, I mean, you can bring 40 books away on holidays, do you know? I mean, there are pluses and minuses, and I think the thing that I really don't like about a Kindle is that, like, you know, when you have an ordinary book, you can tell when you're getting near the end, and you can sort of pace yourself and all. But, like, when you're reading a Kindle, like, suddenly it's like, that's it. And it's like driving into a wall. It's like, what? It's finished. No one told me. You know, it's awful. It's a terrible shock. And then it's funny, we were talking about this beforehand. When you have a Kindle, like you're there and you're being all kind of in the zone in your book and everything, and then kind of on the side of the screen there's all the Twitters coming in and stuff. So it can be very distracting. Because we were saying that reading is so kind of good for the central nervous system and, you know, calms you down and all. So in a way, I think a paper book is better for that because you've, like, fewer distractions. But, you know, if you have a dislocated shoulder from carrying bags around, then a Kindle is a very good idea. So pluses and minuses. Yes. So, you know, enjoy it. Oh, lovely.
Okay, Cleena has a question up here. Great, thank you.
Hi, Marian.
Hello.
It's Donna.
Donna, hello, sweetheart. How are you?
I love the way you know everything.
Yes.
I don't think this is working, is it?
I can hear you.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Snog, marry, avoid.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
Tom, lovely Tom.
Oh, no, you can't do that now.
Pasha, Jose.
No, I can't answer that.
No, you have to. You have to. It's the rule. You have to.
I can't. All right.
Stephen just told me I'm being mean.
I would avoid Jose, to be honest. He'd be too much of a handful. Can I leave it at that?
No.
It would be very positive for the other two.
Do we have Susan? There's a question up there in the second to back row. You get your exercise scales running up and down the stage.
Hi, Marian. It's
Hello.
Anne-Marie from Dewberry Books here.
The famous
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie
Hi,
of the book
thank you
thing.
for the lovely
Let's
thing
see
you
a bit of-
wrote.
Oh my God, it was so easy to write. I literally finished it I was on my lunch 12 to 1 on the Sunday, went straight into the emails and emailed Phil and said,
Thank you
oh
so
my God.
much. It was so lovely to get that email because it was kind of, before anyone had read the book properly, and it just made me feel really hopeful. So thank you.
Well, it was, as I say, very easily written. I finished it and the other staff members thought I was slightly cracked because I was giddy going around work going, this is the book, this is it, everybody has to read it. But it's funny, and I will admit to you, when Phil, and I have to give her kudos from Penguin, came in and she was doing the sub, I said, no. I said, I read Stephen King, I read John Connolly, I read really dark stuff, I wouldn't, it's not for me. She said, Anne-Marie, just give it a shot. And I opened it up at a certain page, and on that page I went, actually. But what struck me about it is that you have written it, in my head, almost as well in the vein of a thriller, because you've written it in two different times.
Yeah.
And did you intentionally go out to do that? Because it really, talk about biting your nails, going, what's going on? Who is that? I want to Google them. I want to find out what they've done. But they're not real people, so I can't Google them. So,
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very
it's
much.
really created that. So had you started writing it thinking, I'll do it like this, or did that come about naturally?
God, it's funny, I never even really thought of it. I kind of do that a lot. I do kind of double strand narratives a lot. Like as far back as Rachel's Holiday, where something has happened and the reader doesn't know the full story. I think it's a very kind of an old-fashioned narrative trick, I think, like even with oral storytellers, that they'll kind of drip feed information and they'll let you know that there's intrigue and that, there is more to be revealed as you go on. I've never done a creative writing class or anything like that, but I'd say it's a fairly basic thing that they'd say kind of, don't give it all away at the beginning, but it's not something that I consciously set out to do. I think, I know my mammy doesn't want a fuss made of her, and I won't, but she's a fantastic storyteller. And, the house I come from, a lot of value is put on being a good storyteller. So I think I learnt that kind of automatically, if that makes any sense. So when it came to writing books, I always had that sense of you can't just go, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then this happened, and that. You've got to kind of let your reader know that more is going to be revealed at a certain stage, if that answers it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
To give you credit, it might be a basic storytelling ploy, but you've done it fantastically, and it really, really, really shows in the pages, so thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Thanks.
Okay, do we have another question? Perfect,
Yes.
thanks, Lena.
Hi.
Hi.
Emer.
Hi, Emer.
I follow you on Twitter, but I don't think you know me.
I'm sure I do.
I'm sure you do. My poor sister, who's stuck in England, tweeted you tonight to say that I was here and she wasn't, and she's very upset.
Oh.
But I've read all your books apart from this one, so I can't wait.
Thank you.
And I suppose my question is, like, out of all your characters, if you had to pick one to go for dinner with, who would it be?
To go for dinner with?
Yeah.
Good question.
Like of my female characters?
Anyone, like just like a great night.
Oh, God. Jesus, that's really hard. I mean, I don't know. Oh, God. No, right, now that's thrown me. I'm very fond of Lola Daly out of This Charming Man. But that's only because she's really like me. Is that awful? Wouldn't mind a night out with Luke Costello now, actually. God, I mean, even the horrible ones I'm kind of fond of, do you know? Stella's lovely. Mannix. You know,
That's a different kind of dinner.
Different kind of, yeah. Yeah, thank you. It's an interesting question. I'm sorry I haven't given you a satisfactory answer. I'll mull it over and I'll come back to you, if that's all right. Thank you, Emer, and I'm sorry your sister isn't here.
No, you have to tweet her later, though.
I will, yes.
On it. Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Susan has a question up here, I think. And then there's one right at the very back in a few minutes.
Hi Marian, I'm Helen. I follow you on Twitter
Hi,
as well.
Helen.
Also read all the books.
Thank you.
And I really love the Walsh family books.
Thanks.
And I'm wondering, are you planning any more in that series? I know we finished off with Helen Walsh, your previous book.
Yeah.
And will it be about the same people or about maybe the second generation?
Funnily enough, I think the next book is going to be about Claire. It's really weird. It's 20 years since I've written about her. Oh, wow. And I'm so against the idea of sequels. I think it's a really kind of cheap trick to play on readers. I just don't approve. I think, you put your characters through enough of a journey that by the end of the book, it should be kind of, they're in a good place, and it always felt kind of dishonest, or I don't know. But I thought, 20 years is a long time and a lot has happened. So, and I was thinking about, the whole thing that kind of people go through at a certain age, or, when they've been with the same person for, a long time, this whole kind of very modern thing of the pause, when people take 3 months out of their marriage, to see. Anyway, so I was sort of thinking about that. And
Sounds interesting.
It means that we get to meet Mammy Walsh and Daddy Walsh again. And the other thing I've thought about as well is, maybe doing another. I liked doing the whole mystery kind of narrative that Helen had, and maybe doing another detective-y yoke, because that was a bit of crack, and something different.
She's great as the detective.
Yeah, so they're not. You see, I was worried that I kind of boxed and painted myself into a corner because I'd gone, no sequels. And I've done all the sisters now, and I thought I'd have to do a Dallas thing of, people coming, half sisters appearing, that Daddy Walsh had this entire bigamist career, with all these other families, that they would have to be brought in. But, but no, they're still going to be written about. I'm just not really sure in what format yet, but yes. Thank you.
Great, look forward to that.
Thank you. Thanks a million. In fact, I had a title for the book that might be written about Claire, and it's But I'm Happily Married. We'll see where it goes.
Very good. I think, there was one up there.
Hi, Marian.
Where are you?
I'm up here.
Right in the very back corner.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Patrick. I follow you on Twitter as
Hello,
well.
Patrick.
How are you?
Grand.
I had a question. I love in particular your Under the Duvet books, and
Yes.
I know you've alluded that there's one coming
Yes.
in the not too distant future.
Yes.
I read before that you studied law in Trinity.
Yeah, no, in UCD.
In UCD, excuse me.
Yeah.
Fatal error. But regardless, I've never heard you write or speak too much about your student days, and I was wondering if you had any reflections on that, looking back at this stage.
God almighty. Well, A, it was 1,000 years ago. B, I was very young and thick and shouldn't have been there, and didn't give a shite about law. And never went to my tutorials. It's a feckin' mercy I passed. All I cared about was skirts and shoes and getting drunk. And I had a bowled boyfriend, and the pair of us were very bowled. And God, I can't say any more.
That was that.
I know for most people it's kind of the most formative time of their lives and all, and people are always getting married to people that they met in university and everything. But I suppose I was very immature and just didn't grow up until later on. So, is that any good to you? That's not much of an answer.
That's fabulous. There's hope for us all. Thank you very much.
It was a long, long time ago. Sorry.
Okay, there's a question here about 5 rows up. Hello.
Hi, Marian, it's Orla.
Hi, Orla.
Just a question here. Rena says she's too shy to ask it, so I've asked it on her behalf. What is your desert island makeup bag?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
How long have you got?
Am I allowed? Is there a limit? Like. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. The Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Mascara. At the moment, the Bobbi Brown Art Pencils. I am so over chubby sticks. I would have to have. Oh God, there's this fabulous thing from Bobbi Brown. It's kind of like, it's just new. It's kind of like foundation and moisturiser. It's for really dry, old skin. It's got an SPF of 25, so that's good for the desert island. Let me see. I wouldn't need fake tan, sure I wouldn't if I was on the desert island. Blusher, I like a bit of blusher. There's a lovely Clinique one that you kind of rub on. It's a kind of a creamy one, and you can, make it all pink and roundy. Could I have a hairdresser? I'd like someone who could blow dry my hair, and someone who'd do the gelish nails for me. And other than that, sure, I'm a simple creature. I don't need much. Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you. But I could talk more about that.
Brilliant. Now, the evening is absolutely flying in. I reckon we've maybe 2 more questions because we've some very important glitterin raffle business to attend to.
Yes.
Susan has a question over there. Great. Hi.
Hi, Marian. I'm Grace, again, a big fan of your books.
Hello,
and follow you on
Grace.
Twitter. Hi, I was just wondering, I know sometimes authors say that when they start writing a book that some of the characters can kind of take on a life of their own. And I'm just wondering, is there any characters or any books where they've sort of taken an unexpected diversion when you've been writing them, or not kind of quite gone the way you thought they might?
All
as
of
you're
them.
writing them?
Yeah, no, absolutely all of them. I mean, that's the whole thing about, I think most people might start with kind of a vague autobiographical idea. But that gets incredibly limiting, and it's also kind of creepy and mean. So it's far better when they kind of change. And yeah, I mean, whenever I start a book, I have a vague idea of where it might be going and what it might be about, and it never, ever, ever turns out to be anything even remotely like it, and I rewrite constantly. I don't do kind of first drafts and then kind of look at it. Like, I inch my way, like I'm very slow, and that's because I kind of feel my way through it, and kind of listen to what the character is trying to tell me. I know that sounds very precious and everything, but definitely they become separate to whatever way they started off, and the narrative always becomes quite different as well. That's for me. I know. I think it's because I write from a very kind of an emotional place. Other people write from their head. They go in, they have an idea, and they don't care if the character doesn't necessarily fit into the template or into the storyline. This is what they're doing, and that works for a lot of people, but it doesn't work for me. I write intuitively, and that's why I'm so slow. But we're all the way we are, and that's how I am. So I hope that answers it for you.
Thank you very much. It certainly works, because your books are fabulous.
Oh God, thank you very much. But that makes me feel a little better for not doing one a year. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. And then, is there anyone kind of over here who feels they've been hugely ignored? I can't see. I'm dependent on.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Julie. I follow you on Twitter.
Hi,
you
Julie.
probably don't know me either.
Of course I know you.
Hi. I kind of moved here because of you. It's your fault.
Go on.
I've been obsessed with Ireland for years.
Get
and it's
lost.
because I started reading your books and then watched The Commitments. And I'm really upset that none of you have horses in your house. Like, I moved here.
I'm sorry. We had them for a while.
It's not what I moved here for. It's still fabulous.
It is fabulous, isn't it?
But the problem is, it's full of Irishmen who are there, and I'm just terrible with them. And I'm the one who goes for all the knobs. Oh, see? Where are the nice knobs? That's for afterwards. Anyway, so I hear that there's a Marian Keyes movie, not of your life. Aren't they making one of your books into a movie?
Not that I know of, no.
Really? Well,
no, this is news to me.
A casting director told me that they were making a Marian Keyes movie.
There's always that sort of rubbishy old talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I demanded that I get a part in it. Should I've got to learn an Irish accent? And mine's shite, so...
Yeah.
So I was going to say, can you write a part for a small dark northerner in the next one? In the hope that I might...
Yeah. I mean, I'm really sorry not to be excited about this. I mean, the amount... About 49 of my books are currently under option and have been since the year 2000, like 1904. And it's just... Every now and again, I get this frantic email from this lovely man in Los Angeles going, hey, fantastic news. You know, we've been meeting with Lila and Mr. So-and-so Nanina, and we love them, and they're on board. And I'm like, yeah, Jesus Christ, you know, and like I've been out there, and they just talk shite, do you know? They just, you know, they get you into a room and they dance around. They're on coke and they're just all full of like crazy lies. They just lie through their teeth, you know? And they tell you you're fantastic and that your book is going to be in the cinema before you get on the plane, you know? And then you leave and you never hear from them again, you know? So at this stage, yeah, you know, it happens frequently enough, you know, there's another flurry and I think, yeah, I don't think I'll be buying me popcorn, not just yet, you know? So I'm sorry to be raining on your parade.
It's
I'm
all
really
right.
sorry.
I might ask you a different question then, because I was going to ask you, who would play you in the movie of your life then, if there was one?
What's her name? Kathy Burke? Is it? Yeah, she'd have to put on a bit more weight, maybe. And, yeah. Yeah. But, there is nobody awful enough. Nobody would be employed.
Okay, well, we cannot be ending on that note.
Right. Sorry.
We have one more question. Did you have one here? Yes? Yeah. Okay, all right, 2 more questions. One there, and Cliona, do you want to pick somebody up there, and then we'll...
And then we have to move on.
Yes. Well, we could stay here all night.
Hi, Marian. Yeah, I also follow you on Twitter. I'm down at
Where
the front
are you?
here.
Oh, you're here. Hi.
Louise. Hi, Louise. Yeah. You said you like reading.
Yes.
So wondering what novelists you've read early on and you're still reading and enjoying.
God, Jilly Cooper had a big effect on me. Like, I loved her. You know, all those books like Lisa and Octavia and Harriet and all of them, they were lovely books. And I suppose I would still read her kind of out of loyalty. I think she's kind of the only one that's really stood the test of time for me. I love reading still. We were talking about this beforehand. And, you know, I'm kind of open to most genres. But there isn't really anyone, you know, I mean, I'm old, do you know, like they can't, you know, they've all died or, you know. Jilly Cooper's the only one that's still alive, yeah, and Jackie Collins. But no, I would really, yeah, anyway. So I hope that's okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks.
and our absolutely
this has to be the last one,
question
I'm sorry.
is over here in row 3.
Hi, Marian. I follow you on Twitter, MFBT.
Oh, where are you?
I'm here, sorry.
Hi.
My mother asked me to ask if you're wearing the hat she crocheted for you.
I have. It's beautiful.
Sorry to have to ask.
And the colour is fantastic.
That was the first thing. The second thing was I was leaving my house this evening and my husband was like, oh, you're going to have to meet your friend Marian. And I actually felt like I was, so thank you. The question was, which of your own books is your favourite? I know it's probably very difficult to ask, but which is your favourite book?
I couldn't. It would be like asking a mother to pick her favourite child, and even though she might have one, she can't really actually say it, right, okay. You know. I can tell you which one is my least favourite, if that's any good.
Perfect.
Sushi for Beginners is my least favourite, because that was written from an inauthentic place. I was trying to be... I was, you know, experimenting with being a different kind of writer, you know, and if I had my time again, I wouldn't have let that be published. But we live and learn. We all make mistakes and, you know, but the rest of them are grand, you know. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Thanks a million. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
You're a great bunch. That was a fantastic set of questions.
It was.
I've been to a lot of these things,
really
and you
was. Thank
you tend to hear the same ones, don't you? But those were all 100%
yeah, they were great.
original.
They were really great. Nobody asked me where I got my ideas from. Thank you. Now I will hand over to the MC for the glitterin raffle, Mr. Paul Squire Dunphy. Please step forward. And our very, very, very special guest, Tom Dunn, is going to be the selector.
Tom, come on.
I will hand over to you. And do them in any order you like.
This is fantastic. And this is it.
This is it. This is the salad spinner of
I feel
happiness.
like we should have a drum roll
Yes.
for the salad spinner itself. It's a thing of beauty.
Yes.
Now, I will say...
Here's
Evening,
Tom.
Paul. Hello, Marian.
Hello, Tom.
This isn't embarrassing at all. Hello, Marian.
Blend into the
How are you?
You're very
Hello,
well.
Tony.
I'll do some spinning, Tom.
I'll just go past you there, Marian.
Yes.
I'll do some spinning.
I'll stay over here.
You'd be safe
Hello,
there,
Paul.
Tom.
Can I just say she's the only woman in the world who talks about me and Jose Mourinho in the same sentence. My wife is sitting beside me going, is that the same Tom she's talking about? Is that Tom who won't bring out the bins on a Wednesday? Tomorrow night's bin night, Marian.
First one, Tom.
Hang on a sec.
Make it someone ridey. A ridey man.
I just want to check my own ticket. Hang on. I watched A Christmas Father Ted over the weekend. Sometimes the people who organise the raffle can win the raffle. 164.
There are 7 prizes there.
Don't
You're
worry,
in with
Marian.
the
I'll
shout.
find 164 if it takes me all night.
You pick the next one, Tom. And we'll get this is for this one, Marian.
Yes, that's the voucher for Pretty
right.
Nails, Pretty Face. That's a lovely
Okay, ready?
€100.
And now, it's just the same prize, yeah. 202. Oh,
Thanks be to
hooray!
God. Jesus Christ.
Enjoy that now.
Yeah, this
What's
is the
this one,
Brits and
Paul?
Bailey handbag.
Ooh.
Yes,
It's very heartfelt,
that is a
that one.
fabulous prize.
You never know, you might win this now. 154. 154.
Oh, right in the middle of the back.
Hooray!
At the very back. Well done.
Oh, I think she's coming the
Paul.
other way.
Thanks be to God.
What's next, Paul? Marian, what's
That
this going to
is
be?
from, it's jewellery, it's freshwater pearls made by our Twittery amigo, Margaret Baker. Her husband made them. It's really beautiful jewellery. It's really good stuff.
129.
Hooray!
Oh, there we go.
Hooray!
Lovely stuff. I get used to it.
We're on a roll now.
Yeah. Right, this is from Clune Keen Atelier. They're a fabulous perfumery in the west of Ireland. They're absolutely wonderful. They're all Irish. It's candles and home fragrances, and
Beautiful.
it's if you want to buy scented candles, buy them because they're Irish and they're made by real Irish people with real Irish hands and things. Yes, and they can get the bag as well.
You ready? You get the bag as well. 149. Hooray!
Hooray!
Good stuff. Only a few left now, Paul.
No, this is another smaller
this
one. This is a fabulous scented candle from the same people.
It's another one.
You can smell it from here, probably.
Have a good route this time because that number seemed very close to the last one. So,
Now a big whoop when you win.
hang on, it's 2 stuck together.
No pressure yet. Big whoop.
Number 39.
Okay, don't
No. 39?
Yes!
Yes!
Hooray!
Great.
Well done!
So just 2 more, Paul.
Right, 2 more fabulous ones.
Should work together more often, Paul.
This is from Clarence.
Clarence, beautiful.
Yes, yes. Fabulous.
Dig deep there.
I'm digging deep. I'm digging deep. Hang on. Now, here we go. 165. 165.
Really?
Right up
Yes.
the back of the corner.
Well done.
That's where we're sitting.
It's a lucky corner.
Yes.
Now, the last one, Paul.
This is for the Lily O'Brien's hamper. I mean,
that.
people have been so good.
Pretty high on these already. Come on, Paul, you'll be fine. Do you want to take it out? So you can take the blame.
Number 225.
225.
Hooray! It's Mary. Hi. That's good. Thank you,
Now,
Tom.
Marian. I think that's more or less it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
Tom,
letting me
very
be part
much.
of this.
Thank you.
I
You're
just
free
want to
to
say
go now.
before I go back up there how overwhelmed I am.
Don't be
by
ridiculous.
The nice things you say about me.
We love you, Tom.
They just stun me.
We love you so
They
much.
pick me up so much. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for making the night so special. Tom
Very nice to
Dunn.
be here. Thank you very
Don't
much.
We love him. Mwah, mwah. You're so lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. Thank you. It just remains for me. Can I do my thank yous? I forgot my list, but bear with me. I would like to thank our lovely prize givers. We had Clarence, we had Lily O'Brien's, we had Bricks and Bailey, we had Pretty Nails, Pretty Face, we had Margaret Baker, whose husband made the jewellery, and we had Clune Keane, who made the beautiful scented candles. Thank you also to Lily O'Brien for the chocolates. Thank you to Marks and Spencer's for the Percy Pigs. Thank you to Hassett's Bakeries. I don't know if you got your Starry biscuits, the Jelly Star biscuits yet. You'll get them on the way out.
They're on the way out.
Thank you so much to the people here at the Pavilion who have organised this event and made it so wonderful. The people on sound, all the volunteers who've worked carrying in the boxes of Percy Pigs and everything. Thank you so much to everyone in Dubray Books. Especially thank you so much to Maria for interviewing me so beautifully. Thank you to Cleena from Penguin for making it all happen. And thank you with all my heart, and I really mean it, thank you to every single one of you for coming here tonight. This is a dream come true for me, and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm so grateful, and you give me so much, and I just really appreciate it. So thank you, and also thank you to himself and to Emma and Luca who did the giving out of the raffle tickets. Have I forgotten somebody? And to Paul and to Tom. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
Stay here for a little minute.
Okay.
Well, I make them stop when you're ready, go on.
Thank you.
Now, as you know, Marian is quite happy to sign books afterwards, and as many and for as long as you like. What we would ask, though, I know a lot of people have travelled to come here, so if there's anyone who has a train or a bus to catch,
come up first.
You're a lovely lot. Let them go to the front on a plane.
Yes,
oh my God!
Yeah.
Let those people go to the front of the queue.
Thank you.
So it just remains for me to say a big warm thank you to Marian. I noticed a few weeks ago, Marian, you had as your little Twitter description just very simply, let's be kind.
Yes.
And I saw that and I just thought that was so quintessentially Marian. You can see that in your books, you can see that in the way that you communicate on Twitter, and you've certainly shared with us so warmly and so generously this evening. So I just wanted to leave with that little thought tonight, and another massive round of applause to the kindest, funniest friend we could hope for.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. That was fabulous. Thank you.